Hi everybody, this is Kevin, and welcome back to another anime review. And today I'll be sharing my thoughts on episode 3 of Shenmue. And this video is going up on Saturday, so this will be like the pre-game hype to get you ready for episode 4, because the series, it's too late for me, man. It airs on Adult Swim at 12:30 a.m. And I left in the description of the last video like the whole lineup for Adult Swim, which is, it's pretty stacked, man. It starts with Shenmue, you got Attack on Titan, Made in Abyss, which I never heard of that, but, you know, leave me a comment if that series is any good. One Piece, Naruto Shippuden, and then fucking Cowboy Bebop, which is still on, man, for like, how many reruns has Cowboy Bebop been on for? It's like, anytime they need to fill a slot, put Bebop on there, you know? So that's pretty awesome. At least it's the superior anime version, and whatever that god-awful Netflix version was is, you know, in the garbage now. So, anyway. You know, I watched this, like, midweek, you know. I guess I could watch it Sunday, but I don't know. There's other series to watch to get caught up on, so, you know, I'm just now watching episode 3. And I gotta say, I'm enjoying the series quite a bit. People in the comments have been telling me that it's very faithful to the games. Some people have said it's a little bit faster. And then I got a few comments saying that they have references. Well, I mentioned this about the opening with the fucking forklifts, which is, I guess, a mini game in the actual game. But in the ending theme, there's references to the game as well. And I will say, like, you know, I'm the type that usually watches the openings just because it sort of gets me hyped for whatever I'm watching. But the opening and the ending theme for this, they're great. And the little clips they share, especially the ending theme, because it's more of like a traditional art style. So, good stuff right there. But anyway, on to the review. So, well, we know that Ryo Hazuki, his father, was killed by Lan Di, and he's after the mirrors. And Ryo got this letter from this person named Yuanda Zhou, which is a Chinese person, and has the letter written in, like, an ancient Chinese dialect, because in the last episode he was going around looking to, you know, see if anyone could read it, and all the Chinese people he saw were like, oh shit, I can't read this, it's a different dialect. So, he's still looking for that. Of course, we also know that there's 2 mirrors now, and, Lan Di has the one mirror, and he's looking for another mirror. And there was like that, I mentioned the Gollum character, I forget his name, because the names are a little wacky in this show, for me anyway, because I'm not really too familiar with the characters, but I know Ryo, and then Lan Di, and then Nozumi, who's like his little love interest, and then we meet Master Chen later on, but anyway, this Gollum guy is looking around for him, and you see a few scenes of him sort of skulking in the corner, like, you know, he's missing some teeth, and then eventually at the end of the episode they have a battle, but before that, you know, Ryo runs into this little boy with the soccer ball who he helped in the last episode, and the little boy invites him in to talk to his grandmother, who actually, you know, can read the dialect, and, you know, she reads it, and basically it's like a coded message about the dragon mirror, the phoenix mirror, the warehouse, and then there's a phone number there. So he calls this phone number, which directs him to a warehouse, to which he meets Master Chen. And I knew right away, as soon as Master Chen talked, I'm like, that's my boy. He's voiced by John Swayze, who's a legendary voice actor, probably most well-known for voicing Gendo Ikari in the Evangelion movies. But cool that they got some top-tier talent like that to voice Master Chen, who, you know, is we learn later in the episode too that he's part of like the Chinese underworld, and dealing with like selling art and stuff. You see like the warehouse he's in, they have all these ancient artifacts and whatnot, and that's sort of what Lan Di's deal is. I'm calling him Land again because, you know, that's my problem. Some of the dubbing, like, they got John Swayze, he's great, but some of the dubbing here, like, some characters are calling, his name's Landi, but some of the characters are calling him Lan. So I'm getting so damn confused, because I know it's pronounced Lon. That's, like, the way you would pronounce it. But there's other characters, and this has to be, like, some direction problem with the dubbing company, where they're, like, you know, getting everything confused. And I looked on the credits, it's Sentai, it's produced by Crunchyroll and Adult Swim, but it's, the dubbing is done by Sentai Filmworks, which they usually do a pretty good job, so that's kind of confusing there, why, you know, they would be fucking up with the pronunciation. But anyway, there's also, I forgot to mention this, in the very beginning of the episode, we meet that girl again, who's in China, reciting the poem. Her name is Shenmue, and I was calling her Shinoa, but because that's how it's spelled, but you pronounce it Shenmue. And she's there reciting this poem, which she also recited in the last episode about, the man who will come from the sea. And then she's talking to one of her friends there, saying, well, who is this man? When will he come? Because the kids asked me, the children asked me who the man was, but I couldn't give an answer. So that's kind of foreshadowing, I think, that Ryu is going to obviously make his way to China, go after Lan Di, and avenge his father. So, there's some cool action scenes like Ryu. He's walking around trying to figure out what's going on to find this mirror. And he runs into these goons who are picking on this other kid, and the goons recognize him. You're like, oh, you're from that high school. And they start beating him down, trying to beat him. There's like three or four of them trying to take Ryu on, but he's doing like a, like dodging him, just like that, and then knocks him down real quick, and some good stuff like that. And then he runs into Nozumi, who's like his love interest. And, at first, obviously she's worried to him than he is. So he's trying to walk past her, and she starts calling out his name. And then he's like, oh, well, do you girls, can you help me with something? Because she's with her friend, too. Can you help me with something? I'm looking for this mirror. Where would you hide a mirror? And they're like, well, we wouldn't really hide a mirror because, we'd use the mirror to look at ourselves. But, if we hide it, it'd be in another room or something. And he's like, oh, okay. So eventually this takes him to a pawn shop type place. That's the vibe I got from it. They might have called it something else. But it takes him over here to this pawn shop, and he finds this artifact that his father, wanted to keep there for safekeeping, and it turns out to be like the family crest. And he's like, well, that's not the mirror, because he's thinking at the pawn shop, oh, it could be the mirror for safekeeping, but it's actually the family crest. And then eventually, after doing some training at the dojo, they're cleaning up the dojo, and they move these banners from the wall, and they see like an insignia where a crest would go, and also another spot where a sword goes. And Ryu's like, oh shit, the crest, let's put it there. And then he puts the sword through it, and then figures out that it's a secret passage to like the underground in the dojo. And then he goes down there, and of course finds the Phoenix Mirror, and also finds a picture of his young father with the man, Yuan Zhu. I was trying to remember the name. Yuan Zhu, the man who wrote the letter in Chinese. So, all of it's coming together, and Ryu eventually makes his way back to Master Chen to try and figure out, how to get to China to avenge his father. And in doing this, Master Chen's like, I'm not going to allow a young boy to get involved, because he's still in high school here. I'm not going to allow a young boy to get involved in the underworld. And while this is going on, the golem fucker is like in the distance, like, and he makes his way down and snatches the mirror for a minute. And then they press a button because they're in this warehouse, and he's climbing on this equipment. It starts moving around, so he drops the mirror. Before that, there's a bit of a little fight, but he runs away, so he's gonna probably appear again. But it cuts to Lan Di, who's also made his escape going back to Hong Kong, I guess. So some good stuff there. I also like the fact, so this is set in the 80s, and when Ryu's like, he finds the phone number, he's calling the number, and it's like a payphone, one of those payphones that you like, not that you dial, but like you spin the dial, you know what I'm saying? If you guys even remember that. I don't remember that, but you see it in movies and stuff like that. So it's cool that they use the payphone, and it's sort of historical in that sense, set in the 80s. Plus you can tell like his whole look with the leather jacket and like the slicked back hair and stuff. But yeah, I enjoyed the episode. I like the mystery. It'll be interesting to see how it develops. I mean, obviously he's going to go and avenge his father and make his way to China. Now, I wonder, because they keep showing Shenmue, she's the woman in China reciting that poem. I wonder, because she's top billed as far as the casting, too. I wonder, like, when he makes his way to China, how he'll encounter her and what significance she is to the story, and also what the deal is with Nozumi. I also want to make a prediction. I think that the golem fucker is going to, like, use her as bait, as, like, a hostage or something in a certain instance. So, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know your thought in the comments down below if you've been watching the anime as well. If you've played the games, like I said, I've never played the games, but I've enjoyed the series so far. It's some cool martial arts stuff. It's some, intriguing mystery as to what's going to happen. I look forward to seeing what's going to happen next. Again, if you played the games, let me know in the comments down below, without spoiling, please, how it's compared so far. So I've gotten comments saying it's going fast, but it sort of has to because it's only 13 episodes. So, and I do believe they're adapting the first game. So, anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know your thought in the comments down below. And also, stay tuned for my live stream tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern with more Kingdom Hearts. So, have a great day, everybody.